all the recordings you took of Coach Meyer. Does Shelly know you were stealing her son-in-law's text messages? Blah, blah, blah. Zach Smith said, "Oh, please do. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is me calling your bluff. Expose away. LMAO. You're a clown. Let's see it. Exposer. Oh, yeah. Or I'm not going to let people ruin my life without owning their own discretions. But yet, lost my dang mind. Works too." He said that in response to Mike Thomas or somebody talking on Mike Thomas's thread. Yeah. Put him in touch with his ex-wife. Okay, here's... shit. Wait, no. There's more. You got to hear this. Question for recruits. Would you go play for a coach that cheats on his wife habitually and frequents Asian massage parlors? He has 3 kids. And his wife told my ex she's been trying to leave him for 6 years. God damn.
Honestly, though, I don't know if that's a good tweet though, because they might still go and play for him after all that. Hey, the coach, tell me your secret.
Asian massage parlors, dog. This is fucked up though. Like, we're getting these jokes off, but we're gonna eventually have a serious conversation before the show's over. Man, wow. So,
I mean, did he really even have to take it that far? Like, tirade far?
He clearly has been holding this in for a long time.
I feel like just getting it
Tom
off
Herman
was good
is
enough.
dirty. No, because Tom Herman has been taking shots at Urban Meyer since he left Ohio State. He took shots when he first got to Texas. He kind of took shots at Charlie Strong when he left you a bunch of All-Americans and great players to deal with, and you have horribly underperformed. But we can talk about that. And I'm going to talk about how, like, there's like a bunch of 2-loss and 3-loss SEC teams in the top 25, some in the top 10. Kentucky was ranked 11th with 2 losses, and I'm just sitting there confused because they got blown out by Tennessee, yet they're still highly ranked, and UCF still can't get in the top 10. LSU was ranked 7th, bro.
Hey,
but anyway,
on that note,
because this is only half of the Zach Smith thing. This is just the first half, him shitting on Tom Herman's life. Whoo. Man. Oh, God. And Hook'em headlines went at Zach Smith. He said, "Unnecessary? LOL. It was drama from Tom Herman. Sorry I shared it. Look at your head coach if you want to identify unnecessary drama. Or my ex-wife. Either one." He got all the sauce, bro. He got all the sauce. He's cooking. He's the fucking petty chef right now.
Hey, so for the first time ever...
What?
The top 10 of college football remains the same. But not for the first time ever, UCF is not in it.
Yeah, they got bumped down.
Shout out to Wild
They're
Wings,
like
man.
12.
Shout out to Wild Wings for bringing back Jam and Jalapeno.
No.
I'm fucking stoked.
Bruh. First off, you've been on an anti-B-dubs.
Yeah, but they're earning my patronage back by bringing back Jam and Jalapeno.
They also, like...
now we can talk about...
They also went at a prominent black man on Twitter and called him a nigger, too.
And we could talk about, we could talk about any week Wednesday.
They had
soon.
white supremacists, like, hijacked and hacked their site, and they were sending off a bunch of racist tweets. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I can't trust you if your social media is getting hacked.
I do.
You still going to patronize it after what I just told you?
Wings of
Don't
wing.
lie. All wings matter. Oh, I swear.
Wings of wing, man.
Pete, if I didn't know you, I swear you
wings
were a
of
Trump
wing.
supporter. If I didn't know you, I'd be like, is Pete a white supremacist?
Wings of wing.
I don't know, man. Some questions.
I mean, Chick-fil-A has issues. You'll eat at Chick-fil-A.
I said if I didn't know you, but I know you. Why are you
pulling
up the B-Dubs Twitter?
Why
you pulling up the B-Dubs Twitter?
You would go to fucking Waffle House.
I've never been to a Waffle House.
And you would go? They have issues too. Their owner said shit.
I don't eat at a Waffle House. They don't have Waffle Houses on the West Coast.
But you would eat there.
When in Rome, but like if it was the only shit there, actually no. I use Grubhub.
Stop lying.
I use Grubhub.
Stop lying, bro.
I use Grubhub and I tell them to meet me downstairs at the gate because I don't trust people. But so Zach Smith, pretty much this whole thing, he really went at Tom Herman. Now he's just throwing shots. And Britt McMurphy, the editors at ESPN already said they're not even going to put his story on the air because there's no credibility to it. And that's where the second part comes in. He pretty much detailed an incident with a former receiver there who transferred to Florida. Oh, man. Hold on. Oh, by the way, I just want to say, Jason Barrett said on behalf of Zach Smith, to everybody talking shit, Zach was wrongly accused of domestic violence, and it basically started with the help of Tom Herman. Now the man has lost everything. Coaching-wise, which was a family tradition, Herman needs to go because he is worse than any of the accusations, period. We're going to put a pin in that because we're going to get back to that because Tom Herman has really done a lot of shit. Oh, man. Oh, wow. So another thing he said, Zach Smith said this, I mostly want to see all of those expensive sex toys, $2,200, or I want my money back. LMAO. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Okay. So, and you can kind of click on that story. I'll put the link up. But Brett McMurphy, he writes for Watch Stadium. I don't know if you know what that is, Pete. They're a multi-platform sports network that brings together exclusive live games, extensive highlights, and daily studio programming. They have 88,000.3. They have 88.3 thousand followers, whatever.
Come on.
But pretty much,
dragging on.
Trayvon Grimes, who was a former Buckeye receiver in 2007, admits there was an interaction between Smith and Grimes, but denies a racial slur. Brett McMurphy reported that there was a racial slur that Zach Smith, a white man, yelled a racial slur at a young black receiver in front of a bunch of black athletes on a football field. And this, he said, happened in 2007. He reached out to his mother, and the story that he put, pretty much he only had, the sources were really just his mom and his father, who he doesn't speak to, hasn't spoken to in 2 years. So his father said a bunch of shit that wasn't true. McMurphy ran with it, and his father's an ex-felon. He put that in the story, and then he also put in the story that his mom, like, ripped off a bunch of old people at a retirement home and stole their money. And it's like, well, as a journalist, why would you use such unscrupulous people in your story and quote them for references if one's a felon and the other, like, committed larceny and stole money and other stuff? And the mother came out and said that's not true. By the way, the mother lost her job in root of this story coming out because of what Brett McMurphy said in the story, which is honestly, and everyone, literally, like hundreds of Ohio State athletes, current, past, like Joshua Perry, people, receivers, people who were there that day standing next to Trayvon, said that didn't happen. Even Trayvon says, like, yo, he didn't call me a racial slur. He just wasn't the right fit at Ohio State, so he went to Florida, and he was granted a waiver to not miss out the whole year. Because it's kind of hard to prove racism and this, that, and the third, but I guess he just used that as a way to get out or whatever. But the whole story is on watchstadium.com, Brett McMurphy. There's a lot of journalistic inaccuracies in here. If I was an editor, I wouldn't have published it. It's in really bad taste. Like,
you're talking about Watch Stadium?
Watch Stadium, yeah.
You mean Stadium. It's just Stadium.
Well, I'm just saying the hashtag, but yeah, Stadium.
Yeah.
But, like, it's some slang.
Yeah, they've had their issues with Shams and
it's
other
some
people.
Shit that'll get you sued and have your whole journalism career ruined. Like, anyone who reads the story, and you have all the people involved coming back saying, yo, this dude's lying. The mom saying, me and my son.
So ultimately, why does this matter?
Because Zach Smith is like, you're painting me as a racist, and then you're painting me as a wife beater the first time around. So you clearly have a hard-on against me, and I'm going to get to his tweets. He said, you want to talk about reaching? Now I'm a racist and got into a fight? You must really be bored, Brett. You're about to lose whatever credibility you had left, if any. Now, other people, like, prominent journalists, he said, I've asked Paul Zeiss. He's like an evening host for he works for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He's a columnist in Pittsburgh. And he said, I think that instead of pay-per-view Tiger versus Phil, we should be treated to pay-per-view Coach Zach Smith versus Brett McMurphy in a debate and a steel cage match, because based on what I've seen on your Twitter, that would be get your popcorn level of fun. And he said, I've asked him multiple times. He won't sit down with me because he knows he's a phony. His reportings are inaccurate and lies. We can all wish, though. Johnny L. Dixon, a player on the team. I witnessed the whole altercation, and this didn't happen. You think a group of African American young men will sit there and let something like this happen? Say what you want, but this isn't true at all. And he's talking at Brett McMurphy. There's hundreds of responses. He says, Paris Campbell, a receiver on the team. There's no way that anyone would believe this. No way. This lie's just out of hand. I was present in the entire altercation. What's said in this article never happened. And he put that in all caps. I can guarantee it. Crazy how social media gives people platforms just to spread nonsense. Now, just to show you how many followers Brett McMurphy has, and he works for ESPN and he also does Stadium, he has about 196,000 followers. Now, that's a lot of reach. You're on the air. People see you. And if, like, current players on the team, past recruits, the family, everyone involved in the story, except for, like, the father who's a felon and the shady cat and is not even involved with his son, hasn't been for, like, 2 years, are coming out and saying this, bro, that's 2 stories you wrote about Zach Smith that demonized him and ruined his reputation. From what we remember from journalism law, from what I've seen, and from literally like shit that's happened to me where I was about to sue somebody for trying to defame my name, Brett McMurphy better have some money behind him, because I think this is gonna be like that situation where they finally got rid of Bill O'Reilly at Fox.
I think the coach got to be careful too, because he's
already mad as shit. Like, it's at this point. No, but if what he says is true, it's more like I'm embarrassing you for your moral misfortunes. So if it's not true, you got to come out and say it's not true.
Yeah, but even then, you can easily prove malice.
He took the gloves off.
It better be true.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only
better be true.
But if you can
has to be true.
But if he can prove what he can prove, then malice is out the window, because there's clearly malice on both sides. True. And Tom Herman has a history in the media just from like the past couple of seasons where he's saying the wrong things. Like,
all right, man, we already talked about this for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, last one. After talking with several lawyers, I honestly need to know how what Brett McMurphy is doing is not illegal. Publishing complete lies at my expense, but because I'm a public figure, it's okay. What is wrong with this world? Now, was he a public figure before all this stuff came out? No, you didn't know who Zach Smith was before the Urban Meyer got suspended, so he was not a public figure. And maybe a public university. Give y'all some journalism law 101 right here. This is why I love this show. Put in the school bell. But yeah, man, with recruits and families, and I'm gonna throw in USC for a second. I'll talk about USC before, but they just had another guy kicked out the program. Dismissed. Sophomore linebacker Levi Jones, son of a former NFL player. Brother of Zay Jones, who went to Eastern Carolina, the dude who smoked that synthetic weed and almost jumped out the window.
Okay, you gotta identify him like that. You can't identify him as the Buffalo Bills wide receiver, former second round pick.
He's done nothing this year, but bro,
he's got touchdowns. He has touchdowns.
But I'm saying Caleb Jones, who went there,
plays for the Bills, bro. Play for the Bills.
Yeah, okay, and then Caleb Jones, I forget where he plays right now, but he went to Arizona, and he went to Texas but transferred to Arizona. He's in the NFL. Their little brother, Levi Jones, they won't say what. Clay Helton won't tell you what got kicked off the team for, but he's pretty much not associated with the school at all. It's crazy. There's a cult, and USC's 5-5 this year. They're terrible. And then you got seniors, leaders getting penalties and all types of crazy shit on the field. Like, the culture that you have in place, it's not just about X's and O's in football. It really is about how you run, how much integrity you have as a man and as a coach, and how does it spill down through the assistants on your staff. You're looking at the Maryland situation where they don't even want DJ Durkin. They don't want DJ Durkin back at all. And now Maryland's on like a 3-game losing streak, I think. Like, it's when you don't have the right people in place and there's not systemic, like, people keeping things in check, man, it's shocking to see how bad. And this got nasty on Twitter. That's just some of the stuff I chose to read out loud. But it's way worse.
Yeah, man. So
high school kids really got to be careful, and that's why I really like. I